Hello everyone. If you didn't see, I just uploaded my very first video of 2017, and I know it's been a long time, and I am very, very sorry about that. So, I guess a very quick thing, I am looking forward to doing more videos, and I know I say that all the fucking time, but I really do mean it this time. I'm really trying. So, I guess to kind of like make the promise of that, I'm now doing this in honor of the new Danganronpa game that came out this year, December, kind of like in the mix there. I started doing this. I'm saying my favorite moments. I did the first game. Now I'm here doing the second game, and I'm I'm excited to do this, but I am kind of gonna warn that there's only one part of the game that I do not know anything about. So the only thing that I know about that is the victim and the execution, and kind of like the location of where everything took place, but I will not be mentioning it at all in this video, and that would be case number 4. And I don't want to say anything in case someone hasn't seen it for some reason, but that's just really the only case I have no really much or no no knowledge for. But before I begin, just a major spoiler warning, and let's just jump right into it, of the top 10 Danganronpa 2 moments. And I will only be talking about the Danganronpa game, and Danganronpa 2 game, sorry, and I will not mention anything from the Danganronpa 3 Despair, since that series and this game are connected. They're two completely different things. But to go on with an honorable mention, where what I really love about the games, the first one and this one, are the comic book styling of how the crimes were committed, and really like uh basically this is where Hinata, or in case Naegi for the first game, this is how the the crimes are depicted and exactly what happened. So I really appreciate it, and also with the fact that in the game, you get to put everything in order. So it really makes you pay attention, and being someone who loves mystery games, this is really big for me. So number 2, or not number 2, number 10, The Return of Makoto, Byakuya, and Kirigiri. Now, uh, as I haven't fully played the game yet, I I have it, but I watched it, so that's why I know of everything and doing research and all of that. But when it got to the final part of the game, and you get to see 3 characters from the first game come back, and of course my favorite character, Byakuya, it was amazing. I loved it so much. I also appreciated that, like, you see them in the case where not the case, the trial, and they're their old selves again, of how we see them in the first game, with the same outfits and with their snarky attitudes. But once we get back to the present and the future, we get to see them fully grown up, and then it really gets us wondering just how old are they, and what happened, which is luckily answered with the anime. and also with Danganronpa another Despair Girls. And I kind of also liked it where, for like a good 5 minutes, maybe even more, probably more, you get the feeling of maybe Makoto was like the mastermind because they made him evil, and I'm like, yes! But of course, that's not it. It was Junko, but I still loved it. So, let's just say that put these three together and it is like a great tag team. Number 9. Kamiya goes insane during the first trial. When we first meet Kamiya, he is a very likable person, very goofy, laid back, and very charming, and that is the reason why he's my favorite character of the second game. However, once we get into the first trial, and he goes batshit crazy, and in a sense, at least to me, Kamiya is a representation of almost what Byakuya was during the second trial of Danganronpa, where, uh, apart from Byakuya, where he didn't kill anyone, but he tampered with the body, Kamiya wanted to actually kill and do all of that, but both plans were kind of foiled, and Kamiya was just kind of left being innocent. However, once his plan was discovered by everyone else, he kind of just went crazy into like almost a despair, hope, crazy thing, and also his very hot, like his laughter like creeps me out now, and I'm not. It's so creepy. It's so creepy, but I love it. And it kind of, after this moment, brings a whole new life to Kamiya and how everyone sees him. Whereas before they would be like, oh, Kamiya, come on. Now they they want to lock him in a room, and they're like, no, he can stay there. We don't want him around us. Goodbye. And I just could not stop laughing because I just love it so much. Okay. Number 8. Fumihiko's morning period. And no, it's not what is. I didn't realize just how wrong that kind of sounded with the image, and I'm so sorry about that. But if you don't know, or for some reason you're watching this and you have no knowledge of Danganronpa in the first place, the blood color is pink, so that's why he's like covered in pink and all that. But what I meant by Fumihiko's morning period was after the second trial, and Sayonji, the dancer, she kind of made a altar for Mihiru, and we find out that Fumihiko was kind of the reason for everything that happened. Fumihiko goes and tries to apologize to Sayonji, and basically tries to kill himself. And he hopes that in doing so would earn the respect of her again. But it kind of doesn't work like that. It's still kind of wrong. However, in the difference being that it wasn't just this that I wanted to really bring attention to, even though that is like one of my favorite Fumihiko scenes of him. This sounds really wrong, but of him trying to like kill himself for Sayonji's needs and pleasures. What I mean is, from the moment of Pekko's execution all the way up to maybe, if I'm getting the time span correctly, of when he was in the hospital, because you can clearly see a big change in his personality at like in that time span, since he basically lost sight in his right eye, lost the girl that he loves and a partner, and now kind of has the his like in the eyes of everyone else, his respect went down, and it's kind of just like Fumihiko realizing he is alone now. He needs to rely on everyone else, and it basically gets him to change, and he now kind of relies with everyone else, while also trying to not be a huge dick, but he is, because that's how he is, being a mafia boss. So I thought that this made a whole this entire thing made me think of Fumihiko completely different, and he is basically one of my favorite characters. Alright, number 7, Teruteru's past. In the first trial, I said already that we are going to be going over a lot of spoilers, but this is just an entire spoiler warning for Teruteru. And if you don't want to hear it, you can skip right now. But anyway, with Teruteru, he is in the entire misfortune of everyone. Teruteru is, to me, almost exactly like Leon, where the entire incident was basically almost an accident, where they both didn't plan on killing anyone. However, whereas Leon killed for protection of himself, Teruteru killed for the protection of other people, where he realized of Kamiya trying to commit murder, so he wanted to save everyone. However, in the case of it being, he kills someone else. And like Leon, he didn't want to kill in the first place, but they both carry out their plans and try to cover up everything. However, with the difference of Teruteru and Leon is that we learn more about Teruteru than ever did we learn about Leon, and that's upsetting. But with Teruteru's past, he is the chef, and which means that he is fantastic at cooking. Yes, hello, I want to meet this guy. But he does it all for his mother, a single mother who is sick, but she still cooks. He wants to be able to come back and take over the shop. Learning that, along with the fact that the entire incident was an accident, made my heart go out to him. Of course, his pervy side is what gets people away from him. It is the fact that his past and the entire fact of everything being an accident, that is what makes you like Teruteru. I did not go through this PowerPoint recently, so basically everything after this point will probably be my first reactions to seeing this in a while, so I can't wait. But number 6, the sixth trial and the truth. This, out of everything on this list, is the biggest spoiler. If you do not want to hear anything, please move on. I beg you, move on. Okay, I gave everyone enough chances to move on from this. Now, the sixth trial basically has the 5 remaining characters of Hinata, Fumihiko, Akane, Sonia, and Soda, all going to the last island and into the building, which is almost like Hope's Peak Academy. What starts off this entire process is something I really like, which is basically you're playing as Hinata, and um I hope I'm not getting this wrong. If I get it wrong, I am absolutely 100% sorry. However, I am positive this happens, where you are making your way to the building and you basically see the projections of everyone who's dead on your way there, and they all say something about how they need to get into the building because the bomb is about to go off, and that is the only place that is safe. So you make your way in there, and you see that everything is exactly like Hope's Peak, but more destroyed. And while you're looking through the entire building, you're finding clues of exactly what's going on outside. And one of the biggest things that, in my opinion, was like, holy fuck, is the article on Saionji and how much she's different from what he knows her as. They get into the final trial, and that's where they see Byakuya, Makoto, and Kirigiri. But we see the mastermind, who is, of course, Junko Enoshima as a program. And that is how the five learn that they are in a program. They have been trapped inside by the Future Foundation because they are the remnants of despair. People who were recruited by Junko Enoshima to destroy the world. Of course, no one remembers it, and the personalities that they have now are the ones that they originally had before they were turned into despairs. And of course, we see everything happening in the anime Danganronpa 3 Despair. So if you want to see how everything really went down, you can go watch that. But we also learn about Hina's true identity, since he is not who he says he is, but of course he does not know that either. We also find out that Chiaki Nanami is actually a program. She is someone who is not real, and she was placed there to help Hinata out. And just like how Kirigiri is helping out Makoto, Nanami helps out Hinata. And in their final moments where they can either choose to stay in the program forever and get to be who they are at the moment, but have to follow Junko, or they destroy Junko, escape the world, and be at risk of turning back into the people that they don't want to be. Of course, with encouragements from not only Makoto but Nanami in their final moments, Hinata realizes who he really is and convinces everyone to go through with it, causing Junko Enoshima to be defeated by the one and only, oh my god, by Nanami. Or Monomi, my bad. So, I wanted to put this on the list, even though it's such a big moment, but it's really the development of the characters along with the heartbreaking truth, because as someone who didn't see the game, or for people who have been following the series throughout the entire series, then you will want to figure out what the hell has been going on, and with this, we do, and I love it. Number 5. Oh, Saionji's Memorial to Mihiru. Alrighty then. Now, this one may be weird and creepy to some people of why I put this on the list. My big reasoning for doing this is since we've seen people who are mourning everyone else, people who even go into, like, the shocked state of not being able to function without anyone. But for Saionji, she created an entire memorial, but somehow, for some reason, she created a memorial that is so freaking deadly and terrifying that after she makes this thing stays in the entire game, and I love it. But also the big reveal of it, I can't help it, because you arrive in the caf for, like, breakfast, I think, and all you see are people, like, terrified because they don't know what the hell it is, and then you see Saionji, like, crying, and I'm like, oh my god, I miss Mihiru too! But this is really creepy! So, this is more, like, a funny thing to me, but I do understand the seriousness of everything, since I cosplay Mihiru, so I really do care for the character, and I feel terrible for what happened. But I can't help but laugh at this, because of just how extreme this thing was when it did first appear. Number 4. Byakuya's body discovered. Alright, so, I think the main reason why I put this on the list is because I like Byakuya. No, and from the first one, we have this Byakuya, who is still a jerk, but somehow way nicer. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, to see that he was the first one to go, and in such a matter, which, in any case, no one should have to suffer what he did. Because with the amount of blood that's in the shot, because there is a lot, he must have been stabbed over and over again, which is very sad. But I think what really got this was the fact that Byakuya said that no, under my watch, no one's gonna get hurt. And because of that, he had to be the first one to go, which is like a cliche thing of, like, you don't ever want to say that, but you also realize that Byakuya put his life before everyone else because he thought someone was dying, and all when someone was actually trying to kill. So in order to keep people safe, he sacrificed himself to help everyone else, and that in its entire is actually kind of sad. And also the fact that this is the first body discovery. I do actually like how the bodies do get discovered because of the music, the slow motion, and the extreme camera angles. It really did pull off something. So the game did a good job, but once you realize just how much he cared for everyone, then you realize, oh my god, this guy was a saint. However, when you get to the end of the game, and you're talking to Junko doesn't know who he is. He is someone who, for some reason, slipped under the radar. And the fact that she doesn't know means that there was something up. And luckily that we got a conclusion and an answer to that. And I'm like, yes. But it came in the anime, so go watch the anime if you want to see how everything actually turned out. Compare, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Let's move on to our top 3. The third trial. What I liked about the third trial is how much it compared to the trial in the first game. Because I kind of figured that in the first game, everything was kind of playing along with 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. We have almost the same thing, where in the second trial we have 2 people who get killed, however, in 2 different ways and under 2 different circumstances. And also realizing that how crazy people are. Because the entire third case is basically, in order to get a cure, someone had to die. Because Kamiya, Akame, and Ibuki were sick, turning them into completely different personalities. And because of how Ibuki was, meant that the killer, who was Mikan, was able to trick her into doing everything that she wanted and caused her to murder her. And Mikan, who also caught the illness, however, people thought the illness, or the other three, turned them into their other personalities. The illness for her brought out the truth. And she realized what happened. And she knows what is going on. So, how she acted is exactly how she acts when she was a despair. But the sad thing about this was how Saionji was killed all because she walked in. If she didn't walk in the room, she would have been safe. However, she walked in, saw what happened, and was killed on the spot. Not only that, but under these circumstances and the entire plan, how it was settled, made me guess so hard about who the killer was. And once I found out it was Mikan and how her personality was different, made me love the case more. So for some reason, Danganronpa, the entire franchise, you're doing a great job with the third trial. I can't wait to watch the new one and see, is it the same thing? Please. I would love it. Sorry, a bit tired. Okay, number two. Number two. Because I messed up. Number two. Twilight Syndrome murder case. Well, depending on how quick you saw everything for number one, number two, I was going back and forth, and it was really like me debating on which one I loved. The Twilight Syndrome murder case is basically you're playing a game, and you're playing the game of the truth of what happened with Fujihiko's sister, and we find out more about his past and exactly about the other characters. Because you play as a group of high school girls, and you come across a body of the girl that you hate, and you find out that it was one of your friends who did it, and then you see that your friend also gets killed. It's interesting because you get to play a game in a game, but it's a game in the game with cheat codes, so you have to play it until you find the whole truth, which is interesting. And also the fact that the second game puts a new light to how everything actually is. So you basically get to find out the truth about the characters in unique, fun ways, and finding out how their life turned to despair. So I thought it was really interesting. But I guess to go to number one, which was, if you didn't see it, Meat Kong's execution. Where I only found this out recently, where someone was like analyzing the execution style. I thought she was shot into space with her on the hand, pumped out with drugs, caused the hand to go up into space, and she disappeared. I saw a theory of it actually being how they gave her drugs and she overdosed on drugs, and it caused her, everything that we saw was almost like a representation of her, like, gone. And I liked it because it was so subtle in the beginning, and then getting to see this character die, I didn't think she was going to die by execution. I thought she would be killed, by someone else. So to get to see this murderer who absolutely deserved everything that got to her was amazing. And also the music went perfectly for it. And it kind of reminds me a lot of Mikon reminds me a lot of Celeste, where they both did it for their own greedy needs, but it's also kind of sad seeing that Mikon's not really like this. This happened because she was in despair and she fell in love with Junko. Celeste just did this for her own dream, but she actually did like being with everyone. So they both kind of fell into their own despair, greedy needs. I guess that's it for everything Danganronpa in this episode. Wait, and we're gonna see what I do first. The anime or Despair Girls? We'll see. But until then, see ya.